I want to talk to you today about taprooting for leaders and finding the right people. Because I'm aware that I did this very, very wrong in the beginning. And how I knew this was because I didn't have momentum. And I looked at all these other people having momentum. So I'm going to give you specifics on how this works and what you do. So if you're ready, say, I'm ready. Ready. Tell your neighbor, I'm ready. Ready. Tell your neighbor, you're ready. Ready. Tell them you look good. Tell them you smell good. Who in here is single? Who's single in here right now? No wonder you were the most enthusiastic during that last part. Here's some definitions for this training. I want to give you some definitions for this training. The first are results. We need to understand what results are in ACN. Results are new independent business owners joining ACN and new customers being acquired. That's it. That's the only definitions of results we have in ACN. Everything else does not count. As well as an ACN leader. Here's a definition of what a real ACN leader is. An ACN independent business owner who produces results. Did you see? And here's the thing, taprooting. Taprooting is a systematic approach to sort deep in your organization for the ACN leader. So we're always looking and we're always on a hunt to identify the next best person in the business. But first thing you need to do is work on becoming the real leader. You know, here's what I understood when I saw ACN, that there were a lot of people having success all around me. But here's what you need to do. Don't lie to yourself about yourself or others. Did you hear what I just said? If you missed it, it's right on the screen. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you haven't done what you know that you can do, do not lie to yourself. If you know inside of you there's more to be done, do not lie to yourself. It's okay what you haven't done this far. Maybe you haven't gone out and gotten your 50 customer points. Maybe you haven't really talked to everybody on your list. Maybe you still have a chicken list. You better fry that chicken. But my point to you is this. Whatever you haven't done, don't worry about it. It's over. Yet, like Mr. Larry Raskin says, yesterday ended last night. Let it go. But your role is to find leaders. You have to have an awareness to be able to find and identify leaders. And sometimes we have all these things going on that we do these meetings, we do these presentations. Your intention in presenting is to, yes, enroll new independent business owners. But as those independent business owners enroll, you're looking for the leaders that you're going to be working with in the business. So you need a certain awareness. I'm going to give you an example of a video to kind of give you a perspective of awareness. Please roll the video.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make?
Go!
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
Go!
How many of you did not see the bear the first time? Raise your hands. Look around. We do meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, but if your intention is just to do a meeting, and your intention is not to find the leader in the room, then you're like the person looking at the passes, but not the moonwalking bear. In a living room, at a PBR, at a home meeting, someone's sitting there that is your next SVP in ACN. And if you're just doing a meeting to do a meeting, and you don't have an intention to find the leader in the room, they could be sitting right in front of you, dying for the opportunity. And you're distracted by the rotten apple in the room. The person says, my cousin's grandfather's aunt's dog sitter did ACN. In 1904, when the company was almost started. And you're like, we've been around for 20 years. No, 1904, that was the real start date. And they didn't make any money. And you're so focused in having this conversation over here that you miss the moonwalking bear over here that says, sign me up, I want an opportunity. Help me in my business. Does that make sense to everybody? How many of you have ever done a meeting where you've been caught up with the wrong person in that room? Okay, stop it. Don't do that anymore. Here's the deal. Wasn't that simple? Stop it. Don't do that anymore. Right? Right? Here's the deal. Control what you can control. This is something that I do when I'm looking to identify new leaders, which is every day. And it's a checklist that I have because it takes out all the emotion of when a new person joins a business. I'm going to ask you the question, and you tell me from the audience. Can you control if you pique someone's interest? Okay? Can you control if after you pique their interest, if they make it to a presentation? Some of you say yes. What the shotgun approach? What do you do? I said it's at 6 o'clock, right? If they make it to a presentation, can you control if they sign up in ACN? Can you control if after you sign them up, if they get qualified? Some say yes, the same shotgun I see. Okay. Can you control if they attend an international event, especially an international event? Can you control if they get promoted in our company like ETT or ETL, anything like that? Can you control if they duplicate you? So what's the only thing you can really control? So why do we get so emotional about all the stuff we can't control? You see, when you're looking for a leader, I'm just like, did you make it down the list? Here's I've had some people stop, they got qualified, then they disappeared on me. I had some people, they attended an international event and they disappeared. How do you do that? How do you come here and then disappear? What is wrong with you? What, do you need a hug? What's the matter with you? I mean, look, here's the deal. I can't make you do anything. All I do is I have this list, and I'm going to put your name at the top of the list, and I'm hoping that you go down every box that I have for this list. But if you don't make it, I can't control that. And neither can you. Some people just can't make it down the list. Find somebody new that can make it down the list. Because let me tell you something, working with the wrong person is kind of like this. Don't you feel for him? That's some of you. Qualify. Have a PBR. Come on. Stupid mule. And when you pull them and they pull back, you pull harder. And they pull back harder. So you pull harder, which makes them pull harder. And then when you're tired, you don't know why. When you find the right people, it's like this. I don't know what you want to do. Is that what you want to do? PBR. Is that what you want to do? How about you find some people that want to, let me tell you something. I want you to imagine what it's like for you to see an eagle. What happens when you find a group of eagles? What happens when they show up in your business and they soar and their wings spread further than you could ever have your own personal wings spread because they have goals and dreams, and instead of wasting your time trying to drag someone up Success Mountain, you find someone that's sprinting and you're trying to catch up. What if you had a Mindy Diebel join your business? Look, don't let the high heels fool you. She's quick. Little blonde Usain Bolt. I'm telling you, she's quick. She joined the business. She wasn't playing around. When she finally got it, that's it. And she was off to the races. That's who you want. Not a bunch of whiny, thumb-sucking whiners. Vampires sucking the marrow out of your bones. Every time you ask them to do something, your attitude of a taprooter is that I work with people that deserve my time. If I'm going to leave my house, leave my family to go to your house, I'm going to always bring my A game. You bring your A game. Not where you're needed. Don't work where you're needed, work where you're deserved. I build new relationships. You've got to find the newest, most excited person in that organization. It's so obvious who they are. Here's what they say at the meeting. I'm excited. You don't have to say, God, who's excited in here? Who's excited in here? Look, hey, guess what? You're here. Don't you think there's another you out there somewhere? Absolutely. You get your existing leaders paid. You make sure that you're working with your leaders to make them money. My responsibility is to try and create as much revenue as I can for the people that I see want it the most. People like, James, you're so busy. No, I'm so efficient. I'm efficient. I call it the excellence of execution. In other words, I'm there to execute a result. I'm there to make something happen. And I'm there to work with the right people. Always have long-term thinking. Some people are going to develop in a day, some people are going to develop in 365 days, some people are going to develop in 3, 5, 10 years. It doesn't matter. But always think long-term for yourself and for the people that you're working with. You want to identify people that have a certain characteristic. It's called the WHIP list. Work ethic, hunger, integrity, personal power. Now, it's important that you find the WHIP list. Because if you're recruiting the opposite of the WHIP list, stop it. How many of you know that there's some folks you need to stop calling back now? Raise your hands, be honest. Hey, here's how it works. It's like dating, okay? I'm gonna give you this. Uncle James's rules of dating, right? You ready? If you call and they don't call back, they're saying, I'm not interested. Okay, so that's the first part. This is free. This is free. I'm giving you free. Well, it's $149, $59, or $89, depending on when you registered. But you know, right? Here's part 2 to that. If you call again, that doesn't make them more interested. They're already not interested. Okay, part 3 to that. If you call again and again and again, now they're going to file a restraining order. So I recommend find people who are part of your WHIP list. Work ethic. Look, there's some people I work with. I'm talking to them at 2 o'clock in the morning. They're driving back from a PBR because everyone at that meeting works nights. That's the only time that they could work and do the home meeting. So they did the home meeting at midnight for those people. That's work ethic. Hunger. The people that are willing to buy a plane ticket, fly over here, drive over here, tell their family, hey, look, I would love to do this with you, but I can't do it this weekend because I'm working on a project to get us free. Those are people that you're looking for. Integrity. They say I'm showing up to the Saturday meeting at 10 a.m. They're there at 9:45. They're there before you. Personal power. They invite, someone shows up. Surprise! That's personal power. If you find someone that has the WHIP list, then you get in there and you help them become a customer of their own services. You help them acquire customers outside of themselves. You schedule an emergency PBR for them right away. You schedule another one and another one and another one till you find the leader under them. And when you find the leader under them, you duplicate the same thing. Does that make sense to everybody? Tools for taprooting. An effective presentation. Do you understand how important it is for you to actually give an exciting presentation? But you cannot give an exciting presentation. This is important, because when we talk about presenting the opportunity, you can't give an exciting presentation if you don't know the presentation. Oh, that's used. I don't know. Says James, man, it's like, that's exciting to see a little tape with your name on it behind the podium, sorry. All right. If you have to remember the presentation and give the presentation, your presentation already is terrible. You've got to master the 1 through 10. It's only 10 boxes. Old song. Na, 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 na. How did you know that? Because you heard it so many times. I practice the 1 through 10 every day, every morning when I'm showering. Just bear with me. It's important. It's part of my ritual. This is going to be so edited. The point is this. I practice the 1 through 10 every single morning, early in the morning, because I want to be effective in my presentation. When you're doing 2-on-1s, you want to set them up and execute. You're always, again, looking for, and I use the moonwalking bear because you're going to be thinking about that every day. Ask, are you my moonwalking bear? The best place to find that person is through a PBR. When I'm doing a PBR, I'm not just doing a PBR to get people in. I'm assessing who's in the room. And I'm seeing who sees what I'm saying and likes what I'm saying. When I'm launching a brand new independent business owner, when I'm launching someone and I say, okay, we want you to, put together a list. A list? I already have a list with me. That's a clue. Or a list, you want me to write? That's also a clue. You need to keep it simple and move quickly, but here's the most important part, if you bring that back up on the screen, is pay attention to their attitudes about the process. I'm always assessing what are the attitudes of the people that I just sat with. Were they excited to get qualified, get some more customers? Were they excited about going to the international event? Or was everything in the process pay attention to the attitude? That will tell you everything. So I'm going to give you an example of taprooting. This is a personal story. Ready for a story? I started work with a team in Maryland, and I asked the most important question. Yeah, up in Baltimore. And I asked someone there, who do you know that you think would be great at this business because they got started in the business, and they signed up in the business, and they introduced a couple of people. And then I asked the next person, who do you know that I think would be great at this business? We scheduled another PBR. And as a matter of fact, that sequence of me asking, who do you know, and a PBR being scheduled happened 10 times down a team. So I got to the 10th person in that leg. That represents the different levels. Everybody got that? I started with the person at the top. Who do you know? Let's schedule a PBR, meet some of your people. Now here's what's interesting. Levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I met someone on the 9th level, I said, who do you know? And they introduced me to another gentleman. And when I said, who do you know? On level 16 and on level 19, 2 people showed up in ACM. Here's my point. The very nature of the word root in taprooting implies depth. If you're only focused in on just helping someone go ETT, you're not driving depth. Does that make sense for everybody here? Now I want you to get this. At this point, I'm a team coordinator. I'm working down a team where clearly the compensation plan says the residuals stop in terms of my production, what I earn residually, level 1 through 7, right? I don't care about what level the leader shows up on. I care that I find the leader. Does that make sense to everybody? And sometimes people get stuck on, well, like I'm in ETT, they're in ETT, I'm not getting paid on that production. Silly thinking. I'm in ETL, they're in ETL, I'm not getting paid on that production. Silly thinking. I'm a TC, they're a TC, that's not open line production to me. Silly thinking. You need to work where you don't get paid sometimes so you can later get paid when you don't work. If your mentality is that you want to find the next great eagle in that organization, then you keep going down as far as you have to go to find those leaders. Does that make sense to everybody? So I'm going to give an example of this, and I want these people to come up on stage. When I say your name, they're going to come up on the right-hand side here. Could I have Mr. Roy Coronel, Art Talahangit, Cedric Troncoso, Joy Panganiban, Christine and Cecilia Castor, Wilma Aureliano, Nestor Nardo, and Jose Tabora. Please come to the front. Please come up on stage. I need you all to do me a favor and please stand right over here. How are you, sir? Looking good, looking good, looking good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Supermodels, supermodels. Keep on coming up. So if you all could do me a favor and stand over there, that'd be great. I'm going to ask some other individuals to come up on this side. When I say your name, please come up right over on this side. Could I have Ms. Raquel Garcia Vega, Virgie Klein and Miguel Gonzalez, Amir and Syed Zafer, Biak Tal and Than Hri, Ni Kung, Cheryl Ann Pohl, Sherry Legaspi, Angel Leonardo, John Bellin, Jackie Go and Ishmael Blinn, Eden C., Mary Corbett, John Merninger, and Jared De Los Cientos. Please come over on this side. Please give them a round of applause. All right. So here's what I want you to get. You ready? This is really, 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 really good. All right? This gentleman is Roy Coronel. He's the Roy in the example that you saw on that screen. Roy showed up on my 19th level of taprooting. Now, team coordinator, here's what happened for Roy. Roy introduced a gentleman to the business by the name of Mr. Art Talahangit, now regional vice president with ACN. Art got started under Roy's mentorship. Now, at this point, I'm not working with this team at all. He's working with this team. All I'm doing is talking to him on the phone. But guess what? We work level by level by level by level by level by level, PBR, PBR, PBR. Does that make sense to everybody? Roy introduces Mr. Art to the business, who tells Mr. Joey Panganiban to get started in ACN. Joey gets started in ACN. Christine and Cecilia Castor are team coordinators as well. They get started in ACN. Mr. Cedric Troncoso, his team coordinator in ACN under the mentorship of Art, who was mentored by Roy, who I found in the ACN opportunity, 19 levels deep. Who introduced Mr. Jose Tabora to ACN and Wilma Aureliano to ACN. So here's what I want you to get. 19, from level 19 on is where this team started. You got that? Now they're predominantly on the East Coast. But I started working with a team in Chicago that came from the same organization. In other words, bring up that screen again. In other words, that one person on level 10 led to 2 separate organizations. Now here's what's deep. Everyone from level 1 through level 10 has no higher position than an executive team trainer. Oh, you better pay attention to this, y'all, because you're hanging out. So here's what happens. A gentleman gets started in a business by the name of Celso. He introduces someone to ACN, Miss Raquel. She gets started in ACN. Eventually in her business comes a very significant business. Regional directors. She's now a regional director with our company. Matter of fact, last year's fourth quarter, the #1 regional director in ACN. Right? Now here's what's deep. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this. Miss Virgie Klein, top 15 producing regional director, came from a list of people from me going down deep into an organization. Miss Amira Zafer, part of the team that we found. Miss Cheryl Ann Pohl got started in the business. I didn't even know when she got started in the business. Because, look, here's the deal. Guess what? Here's the example where it all falls. Raquel is level 24. Virgie Klein is level 26. Miss Amira Zafer is level 29. Where's Biak? Oh, Biak and Than got started, hit regional director in 5 months in ACN. They're on level 35. I'm working with all these people, a rep for a rep, find the leader, find the leaders. That makes sense to everybody. As well as Miss Sherry Legaspi, where's she at? She's not here, well, tell her hi, right? She's on level 38. Sherilyn Pohl, 28. Angel Leonardo, level 41. Mr. John Bella in level 27. Jackie Go and Ishmael Britton, brand new team coordinators, level 20. Eden C, level 32. Miss Mary Corbett, hit regional director, was a top producer as a team coordinator, hit team coordinator 5 months. She's the level 18. John Merding, level 22. Mr. Jarek De Los Cientos, he and I work together, he's level 52. So here's the question. If one person, look, there are over 40,000 customers on this stage. For one person that I asked the question, who do you know? So when you're looking at building a significant team, everybody, here's what's important. When you find the right people and the right people show up and you know who they are as soon as they show up, run with them hard. These are all eagles. No mules on this stage. So here's what we want you to do, everybody. Here's what we want you to do. Tonight is the greatest opportunity for you to create massive exposure in ACN. And this is a call to action. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you're going to see a presentation that's going to be done a little bit later tonight. But Senior Vice President, Mr. Simon Aboud, and Senior Vice President, Ms. Debbie Davis, are going to be presenting ACN. It's going to be recorded here and re-aired at 8 p.m. at that website, acnprimetime.com. What do you think it'd be like? Now, here's what's going to be crazy for that presentation. How many have some people right now that you just haven't reached out to yet about ACN? What about this? What about the fact that it's going to be recorded and the people that are going to see the presentation online are going to see all 30,000 people in this arena during the course of that presentation? So what do you think is going to happen when you put your people on that website tonight at 8 o'clock? Here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. You need to create an acnprimetime.com immediate call text list immediately. And you need to make sure that everybody that you know and the people that you know that aren't here right now that should be here, get people to that website. Not only that, if you are on Facebook, if you go to the ACN page on Facebook, you can actually have it shared. There's an invitation card that the marketing team put together, and it's a shared invitation to see the ACN opportunity. So tonight, 8 o'clock, everybody, let's make a commitment. How many of you are going to put brand new people to see the ACN opportunity on acnprimetime.com? How many? Then if that's you, congratulations. I'll see you on the stage in California from the momentum you create by the decision you made today.